Yo, yo. Welcome to the stream, everybody. My name is DJ Switch, and tonight we are back to some more Power Wash 2. I don't even know how far we have to go. Like, what the hell's even left in this game? No idea. Oh. We're at like 76-ish, 77%. I don't know. We're a little over 3/4 of the way there. So we got a little bit, but that's fine. We're going to keep it moving. We got the ski center next. Mount Rushless Ski Center. Ahoy there. And welcome to Fumarole's premier tourist attraction, the Rushless Red Run. Precipitous ski runs, searing saunas, strongly flavored food. You name it, we take it all the way there. After Rushless went into dormancy and the snow started to fall, we sensed a golden business opportunity to open up Caldera County's only ski resort. But one thing we didn't anticipate was how dirty it gets up here. We only got the place cleaned a couple of weeks ago, and already it's filthy again. Well, we can't have a filthy ski resort on our hands. What will the billionaires think? Jay Shore, what's up, man? Good to see you. We must clean the ski resort. This is a couple weeks worth of dirt. I feel like there's something wrong. Like, honestly, at this point, I wouldn't even be surprised if, like, there was something in the lore that revealed that this place is actually cursed by a witch. And that's why the filth piles up so quickly. And you just have this golden opportunity as a power washing service to be the one man that cleans it every couple of weeks. The whole town just relies on you for, like, people don't move out. They just rely on you to power wash their shit every couple of weeks. Nope, the townspeople are just lazy. Yeah. Right, and for some reason, no one else can buy a power washer. Like, it's just you. It's just you and your Prime Vista Pro. And you just go along just cleaning filth everywhere you find it. Like the unsung hero that you are. Did you have one crazy person? I feel like they have more than one. There's a bunch of weird characters in this game. I mean, at one point they had literal aliens. Let's go. This thing is cleaning up pretty quickly. Now, mind you, I realize I'm in the like ski car or whatever. Like, once I step out, there's a whole rest of the resort that I gotta clean. Yeah, all this, we're only at 1%. So I very much realize we have a long way to go with the ski resort stuff, but I figured to hell with it. I'm just going to clean the inside of this thing while I'm here. I don't even know if it'll let me out the door. Yeah, I don't even think the door's open until you clean this. So might as well clean it. Okay. Easy enough. Let's get the edges here. So Jay Sharn, how was your week, my dude? Anything you're looking forward to for 2026? Aside from, you know, the new job that you're hoping for? I am for sure looking forward to the Voltron movie. I just saw another headline like update. I guess they finished the principal filming late last year for the Voltron movie starring don't tell me Henry Cavill. And as soon as Henry Cavill's Voltron movie gets released, thanks to the good folks at Amazon, we will be treated to a proper live action Voltron experience. Hey, there we go. We got doors. All right, so let's get out here, and I guess we're cleaning everything. Holy shit, it is filthy out here. Let me just take a step back and look at this. Yeah, a whole thing's just a mess. Let's start with this wall out here, I guess. Okay. Finished my degree this year. I remember a couple years ago when you said you were going to start that degree program. Like you were pretty hype about it. I'm really hoping that pans out for you, man. That like this new degree will open up the right doors for you to be able to level up in your career. 6-year struggle, yeah. I'm hoping it's worth it for you though, man. Like truthfully. You know, just going back to school at all, after, you know, you've got a family and shit, like it's a tough decision, but I'm hoping it ends up being the right call for you, man. There's a lot of folks that are graduating that with degrees that aren't able to put those degrees to work, but I know your field is kind of specialized. So I'm hoping that at the very least your story is going to be the exception, not the rule. Because I think you deserve it. Got a couple things in the works for my 2026 as well. I'm a little nervous. I have already had one gig kind of fall through, which was a bummer. But that guy's organizing something else that's a little closer to my house, you know, later in the year anyway. So like we're maintaining the relationship there. I was a little bummed that I couldn't do the gig, but that's okay. Once we get on the other side of this thing that was supposed to be happening later this month, then I'll reach back out to him and see what we can do about making plans for the next one, you know. And of course, I got a meeting on Monday. And that little meeting on Monday is going to determine a good chunk of my calendar for 2026 as well. Yeah, I don't know. It's just, you know, I got stuff going on. I'm kind of stoked about it, but I'm also kind of nervous. Like, I definitely need to beg some money this year. I was actually watching a YouTube video earlier today. And I was watching this guy talk about like his DJ business and how in 2024 he invested a lot of the money he made back into his DJ business because he wanted to be able to upgrade his speakers, he wanted to be able to upgrade his lighting, and like, so he took some steps to, you know, spend some money on some nicer gear in 2024. And then, but because he did that, when 2025 rolled around, he didn't want to spend a bunch of money on gear because he just did that the year before. So instead of buying new gear for 2025, he was able to like take the gear he bought and make money with it, which is kind of the whole point, right? Like, I was really, really pleased with how my speakers performed at this last event that I did. All I need to do is match them with the right pair of subwoofers, and we are absolutely golden. So I need a pair of subwoofers, and I, you know, those are like mandatory. And then like a nice to have would be a couple of moving headlights that I don't have to rent. And you know what? If I had those two things, I think I'd be basically set as far as doing, you know, DJ stuff. And it would open up a lot of potential for me to be able to book different kinds of gigs. The kinds of gigs where I bring a big setup and I don't have to stress too much about the sort of the financial side of it, because a lot of times trying to figure out the financial side of like what to charge really kind of depends on a bunch of different variables. Do I have to rent equipment? Do I have to rent a truck? You know, like there's a lot of stuff like that kind of factors into like what my overall costs end up being. And my hope is that by owning my own equipment and keeping my costs at a reasonable rate, that I can simultaneously charge more and make more. Because the name of the game is, you know, over the last couple of years has been charge more and then put that money back into the business. So I'm at a point now where I'm ready to start actually making money off my business, which would be amazing. And frankly, very overdue. But we'll see. I mean, and I know this all sounds like stressful and like I'm complaining, but no, I'm genuinely saying like that's kind of the plan for 2026. And that was all by design. So like that's one of the things I'm really looking forward to in 2026 is finally sort of being at that place as a sort of self-driven, self-sufficient DJ with all of the gear necessary to be able to take on higher level clients. So that's the plan anyway. I've got some YouTube stuff I'm working on. Y'all gonna see some YouTube stuff out of me pretty soon. Get her done. I know I keep talking about it. I'm just trying to finish up a little project. That's all it is. I've got like one little thing left to do. And as a matter of fact, I'm going to try to get it done this weekend so that I can get to the YouTube stuff next week and get started. I've got, and then you know what is crazy is I actually have a couple other projects that I haven't talked about that I'm not sure when they're going to launch. So like, I can't talk about them because there's other people involved, but the takeaway here is that my 26, I am, as they say, hitting the ground running. I've got plenty of stuff planned and, you know, projects that I've already kicked off. So it's gonna be an interesting year, I think, like creatively. Like this is gonna be an interesting kind of a different year. And as a producer, as a content creator, as a DJ. Just a lot of little things kind of coming together, you know. I was talking with my therapist the other day about, you know, being a jack of all trades and how I like having a lot of skills, and I don't need to master every skill. I just like having a lot of skills available to me. A lot of sort of broad life experiences. It's something I discovered about myself when I was very young, is that there's a lot of, like, I like to be able to be competent at a lot of little things, you know? And you know, when I think back on my sort of creative career, as a DJ and a producer and a content creator, like, it all kind of falls in the same category, man. Like, whether we're talking about audio production, video production, marketing, like, there's a lot of hats you got to wear to be able to do all that stuff. And that's, I think, why I enjoy it so much. It's because I like to wear a lot of hats, both literally and figuratively. FYI, roof is glass. Copy that. That looks to be a solar panel, but all right. What am I missing? Something I'm missing somewhere. Okay, we got that part of the shed. I don't see anything. Yeah, all right. I must have got it already. We move on. I don't think I ever played Celeste. I really need to. One of the things that kind of occurred to me is, like, you know, all that money I spent on DJ gear this last year, like, I'm glad that I spent the money I did. It was gear that I needed to kind of fill out my presentation. And I'm excited to see how I'm going to be sort of growing and leveling up in this next year. Like, if last year was any indication of how that was going for me, frankly, this year's going to be amazing. But, you know, I'm kind of curious, like, what's going to end up happening this year. You know, on the one hand, I had some pretty good paying stuff last year, especially towards the back half of the year. I took on a couple of new clients. One of my new clients is possibly one of my favorite clients ever, because they're kind of amazing to work with, and their audience is, like, amazing to play for. So there, I mean, that's something. Definitely. I mean, I gotta wait till, you know, late October. I think they said that their event this year is going to be actually the same weekend as Halloween. So I guess I gotta look forward to. I gotta wait till Halloween weekend to do Dyer Brook again. But man, I had such a good time at Dyer Brook. Looking forward to doing that one again this year. But before we do Dyer Brook, we've got Geek Week. We've got, God, just a bunch of stuff. I got to go back and look at all my invoices and stuff to figure out like what events I need to plan for. But of course, once again, I can't do that until this meeting on Monday, because the meeting on Monday is going to determine a good chunk of my schedule for the year. So we gotta plan accordingly. Let me grab this step ladder. Actually, I think I might start down here. Make it easy on myself. Man, where is everybody tonight? With your mom. Oh, come on now, Pedicabo. I know you can be more creative than that. I know you have it in you. I thought it was pretty funny. I love my mom. Don't make fun of my mom. She's a sweet lady. Also, hi, Pedicabo. Glad you could join us this lovely Friday evening. In case you are wondering what in the hell we're doing, we are power washing a ski resort because God forbid the billionaires have to face their own filth. Let's see. What are we missing here? There we go. Sorry, Safeway put me in a bad mood. The one in town is the single worst supermarket I've ever been to. 'Twas always thus. Which Safeway are you referring to? Oh, the one out where you live? Didn't they just build that one like a couple years ago? Or am I thinking of just sort of that whole general area? Been around for like 20 years. Oh, okay. I could have sworn there was like some new construction that went in out there, like either right before or during the pandemic. Am I making that up? I mean, the Safeway might have been there already, but like, did they not like sort of expand the area around the Safeway? Like put in a Taco Bell and shit? Tons of new stuff in town. You might be thinking about grocery outlet. I don't know, man. I don't spend a lot of time out there. Funny enough, the last time I was even out there, like in that part of town, was to go see Jesse, who you may remember from the paper. Although I don't think you guys work together. I think you might have met him once or twice. But he and his spouse live out there. Oh, sweet. Wait, is this the one from Italy? Sorry, I just got handed a record. And I think it's the one I was waiting on from Italy. Oh my God, I cannot read that. Oh, yes. Yes, that is. Okay, so that's, I'll open that record just a little bit later. This is a record that I ordered that for some reason shipped from Milan. But I'm kind of hyped about it because it's a cool project. And it's one that I'm probably going to talk about on social media a little bit, actually. Because the girl behind that project, she's making like pop punk, like original pop punk stuff. And but her concept is really, really cool. She goes by Me and the Robots. And she is as much a visual artist as she is a music artist. And her musical style is very pop punk, but her visuals that she produces to go along with the music stuff that she's releasing is like kind of incredible. It's not very often that I will buy a record like almost completely sight unseen. Like I checked out the music. So I knew what I was buying when I bought it, but like she's definitely a very new artist that just got started in the last like year or two. I read up a little bit. I guess she was in a band or something before she went solo, which, you know, that tracks. That kind of thing happens all the time. So not, you know, completely new to music, but very much an interesting visual style that I really appreciate. And combined with the, you know, with the catchy pop punk tunes, I'm about it. Yes, Italian vinyl. You have to use an Italian record player in order to play it. You can't play it on a regular needle. I almost said that with a straight face. I have no idea if my wife can hear me, but if she can, she's probably rolling her eyes. It's a 46. Why is that funny? That shouldn't be that funny. That is a stupid joke. I'm laughing harder at it than it deserves. I just want to be very transparent about that. I should not be laughing that hard at that joke. They can't measure 45 RPMs because it's in metric. That's so stupid. Also, I'm pretty sure it's a 33, not a 45, but whatever. It's a 12-inch record, you know. And it's a whole album, so like in fact, I know it's not running at 45 because she wouldn't be able to get 12 songs or whatever on there without being able to run it at 33. Because a 45 would eat up that 12-inch way too fast. I do have a couple of 12-inch singles though. Interestingly, there's a particular 12-inch single that I have in my collection that I'm pretty proud of, and I wish I had a better sleeve on it. But unfortunately, it just came with like a shitty inner sleeve, and there's no outer sleeve. I don't think it shipped with one. I think originally it just had the like paper sleeve. It's a 12-inch single of Boys of Summer by Don Henley. I found it at a Goodwill for $3. And every time I've played it at like a retro gaming expo or something, it messes me up because I have to remember that particular 12-inch record runs at 45, not at 33. So if I start it and it sounds like Don Henley is like taking Quaaludes, I need to speed it up. See, I had a similar problem. What was the other thing I had a similar problem with recently? Oh, I think it's those 4-inch records that I got. So there's a company called Tiny Vinyl that started shipping these 4-inch singles instead of 7-inch singles. And I kind of ran into the same problem because I think they actually run at 33 because it's only a 4-inch disc instead of a 7-inch disc. How could you tell if Don Henley took Quaaludes? I don't know, man. I just said if it sounds like he's on Quaaludes, you know, it's like his voice is super low and kind of distorted because he's playing back at the wrong speed on the turntable. Although now that I say that out loud, I don't actually know what someone sounds like when they're on Quaaludes. Sounds like a Tuesday for Don. Oh, thanks. The chat's wanting to know if we have any cookies. No? Okay. Sorry, everybody. No cookies tonight. This tea is delicious. And very hot. I gotta let that cool down. Okay. We're fine. We're fine. This is fine. Everything's fine. Ugh. Let's get back to power washing the billionaire's resort. God forbid the billionaires go a weekend without their ski lodge. Quaaludes are tranquilizers so people sound drowsy on them. Yes, okay. Thank you. I was worried I had that wrong. Pedicabo, you really had me like questioning myself there for a second. So yeah, so if he sounds drowsy, then the record is spinning too slow at 33 and I have to speed it up to 45. And that particular 45 is weird because it's a 12-inch 45 instead of a 7-inch. So I have to remember if I want to play that song that I have to play it at 45, not 33. Because it's like, it's printed on the label, but like it's printed really tiny. And, you know, I've been blind since the 8th grades, or since I was 8 years old, since the 2nd grade. That's how long I've been wearing glasses / contacts. So like asking me to read a record label in a dim lighting situation when I'm busy trying to like throw a record down for the like inside of 3 minutes to get the next track ready. It's just not gonna happen. That's one of the things I think a lot of people don't realize about like DJing with vinyl. So much of it is muscle memory and training. I mean that's true of like digital vinyl and like modern DVS systems, but like, whoa, oh yeah, individual letters, okay. But like it honestly, it's twice as true for classic analog records as well. Like if you have older analog records and you're playing like a true vinyl set, like you really have to have the muscle memory to be able to do that, which requires practice. Did you check out that DJ I posted in the Discord? I didn't. I haven't had a chance yet, unfortunately. But that's part of the reason why I wanted you to post it in the Discord, is because I didn't want to lose that link. That's actually on my to-do list this weekend, is to check that out, along with a few other things. I got some catch up to do this weekend. Last couple of days have been kind of weird, but I'm looking forward to a little bit of downtime this weekend, and then diving right into meetings and work stuff on Monday. It's weird to be like, it's weird to have like all of my friends that work in corporate jobs be like, oh yeah, we're off for, you know, until after the new year. And then here I am working for myself, and I'm just like, yeah, like I don't have gigs lined up for a while, but I definitely have a meeting on Monday. And I have some phone calls to make, and I have some emails to send, and some other emails to follow up on. Like, everybody's been out of the office till the 5th, so I've just been like sitting here on my hands, just twiddling my thumbs and patiently waiting until the people I need to talk to are back in the office on Monday, so that I can send those follow-ups and start making some of these plans for 2026 happen. He's spinning old 60s and 70s vinyls, and that's why I remember. Yeah, no, that's 100% legit, dude. Like, but that's what I'm saying is like, even in a situation like that, where like based on the kind of music he's playing and how old those records are, he's probably not even playing that hard. Like in terms of like what DJs are, like what modern DJs are capable of. He's probably just putting the record down, dropping the needle, and then, you know, queuing it up or whatever. I can't imagine he's like, you know, scratching and cutting and beat juggling and doing all the crazy body tricks and shit that like a lot of DJs do. Especially with older records like that. Older records are really not made for that. So you're almost never going to see a DJ pull out like an old 70s copy of like Rumors and start cutting and scratching on that, because those records aren't made for that shit, you know? That's one of the things that a lot of people don't understand unless you're, you know, a part of the DJing community and the DJ space. You actually have the training in it. Lots of folks just kind of make assumptions about DJs and scratching, and they don't realize that like you don't just scratch your dad's copy of the Beatles. Like you can, but that's a really good way to ruin that record. Typically, scratching is done with records that are specially made, extra dense and with extra deep grooves, so that it's like made for scratching. You don't just scratch any record. Like, that makes you an asshole. But, you know, people kind of draw assumptions about DJs, but they don't care enough to like follow up on those assumptions and learn the truth. So it's always kind of like, it's a weird thing. I've talked about this before, and I'll probably tell this story until I'm old. But there was a line in the show, The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, the first season of that show, where she goes to like bail Lenny Bruce out of jail, and she's asking him if he loves stand-up comedy. She goes, do you love it? And he goes, if I could do anything else in the world, I would. She goes, yeah, but do you love it? And he just shrugs and walks away. And ever since I saw that, I like it just kind of like It clicked in my brain. That's how I feel about DJing. If I could do anything else in the world, I would. I think of the DJ as being the dude who chooses sets and keeps flow going. Well, see, now, like, but that's accurate, though. And, you know, not for nothing, Pedicabo, I know you as the type of person who does his goddamn homework. You're not someone who just forms opinions for no fucking reason. But unfortunately, that puts you in the minority on the internet. And I know you know this. I'm not going to name any names. Not that he would ever see this anyway, but a friend of mine asked me to help him out updating his music library for a 16-year-old birthday party that he's got coming up. And he sent me the list of songs that this 16-year-old girl was requesting. And I'm sitting there going through this song going, that's a good song. That's a good song. That song is shit. That guy's racist. Good song, terrible song, terrible song. That girl is racist. Like, I'm going down this list of music for this 16-year-old birthday party. And like if it was me getting hired for this party, like I have the majority of it and I would just like roll up and do the party and play a bunch of remixes and kind of show off a little bit, mix some stuff, cut some stuff, whatever. It'd be fun. But since my friend that I was helping out doesn't really do the DJ thing full time, he was like, hey, can you just help me like find clean versions of these songs? And I was like, yeah, all right. So I went through that list of songs and I have access to some resources and stuff. So I found almost all of those songs. There's a couple I couldn't find, but like I would say a solid mid 90% of the songs, 90 something, 94, 95% of the songs I was able to find clean versions, no problem. So I put a little folder together for him. And as I'm sitting there putting this folder together, I'm just like, God, this person's taste in music is absolute dog shit. Because yes, DJs absolutely will judge your taste in music. Most of the people whose taste in music I encounter is fine. Like, I don't judge you just for the sake of judging you, but if half of your playlist is like musicians like Kendrick and Lizzo, and then the other half is like Jason Aldean and fucking Morgan Wallen, that tells me that you don't give a shit about who you're listening to, and you are just wildly underaware of the type of music that you're choosing to listen to and support. Because half of that list thinks the other half of that list should not have rights. And that's pretty fucked up. But once again, I'm getting dangerously close to political territory, so I think I'll back off and we'll shift gears. I like Kendrick, even though he sounds like an angry Muppet. I don't care. Lo-fi and whatever Spotify AI plays for me. Yeah, I really want to get away from Spotify. That's another one of those, like, I'm actively looking for another solution besides Spotify. Can't do Spotify anymore. I mean, honestly, part of it's the price point. Like, Spotify is getting a little too expensive for what it is. And I've been really kind of eyeballing other platforms. And you know what? I got real close this year. I got real close to moving on from Spotify and going with a different platform. Because I really, really want to sort of expand and try some other things. I want to kind of move on. The problem that I run into is that Spotify is the only thing that integrates with the you guys see that how do I point at this? The fucking camera's backwards. You see this this now playing thing over here on my screen, the one that I'm pointing at, where it shows you the name of the song and the artist and all that? Yeah, that's Spotify. And I'm not paying individually for the songs that I'm playing on the stream. And so the very least I can do is make sure that you all have access to the artist and title of the songs that I'm playing. And it's very important to me that those artists are being properly supported and recognized when I'm playing these lo-fi songs. So unfortunately, even though the Curaga catalogs are available on a ton of other platforms, that little widget that I've got on my streaming screen is the one thing that's keeping me from jumping away from Spotify. No, I would love it if I could just use any old media scraper to do that. But unfortunately, that's not a serviceable solution for a lot of technical reasons that I don't want to get into here and now, because it's honestly boring. Like, honestly, it's too boring for a lo-fi stream, which should tell you something. But yeah, the short version is, until I can find a better solution that will work for what I need it for, I'm kind of stuck with Spotify for now. But I'm actively looking to get away from it. And I am more than happy to tell you all that the music from my friends at Curaga that I feature on this stream, all the lo-fi stuff that I play on this stream, is available on a lot of other music services besides Spotify. As a matter of fact, I have yet to find a music service that it's not available on. I know for a fact it's available on Kubaz, it's available on Tidal, it's available on Amazon. Like, not that I love Amazon either, but you do not need Spotify to listen to Curaga music. Like, you can absolutely find Curaga music on a lot of other platforms. And actually, one of the things I was talking to the label director about is that, like, Tidal and Kubaz and there's a couple other ones that do like the higher resolution streaming. Spotify introduced lossless finally this last year, but it's only for new uploads. If you uploaded something in the past to the Spotify servers before they introduced the lossless codec, that means that whatever file is still not going to be lossless quality. It's still going to be the old quality, because they're not going to go through and like replace all that stuff. Hey, Broken 8-Ball is in the house. What up, 8-Ball? Good to see you. What are we cleaning tonight? We are cleaning a ski resort for the billionaires up on the mountain. We got to hurry up and clean the ski resort so that the billionaires have some place to spend their monies. This dome is chilling on a lounge chair, and somehow the cats got up here. Hi, Ulysses. Good girl. I don't know. Here's the thing that worries me. There's Ulysses. Where's the other two? I haven't found the other two cats, and that makes me nervous. Because I just know wherever they're at, they're probably playing with something or causing trouble. Too bad it's not Timberline. So much potential for Shining references. I mean, yeah, unfortunately, as this is a British game, the licensing for stuff like that is a little bit weird and different. However, they do, they like their last Power Wash sim, they absolutely had licensed DLC, like the Back to the Future DLC, the SpongeBob DLC, the Wallace and Gromit. And so, like, We could get a Timberline DLC. Absolutely. Like that is a possible thing. Will they do it? I don't know. It would be interesting to see if they do like it would be cool. I think it would be cool to see locations from like horror movies that you could go through and like power wash as like a Halloween pack, a Halloween DLC, where you could go through and like clean up the blood at Lake whatever from the Friday the 13th movies. Or you have to clean up a couple of houses on Elm Street, or power wash Timberline for The Shining, you know? Absolutely a lot of potential there. Not that the not that the power wash devs are ever gonna see this, but it on the off chance that I managed to clip this and put it up on social and the power wash devs happen to see it, there you go, free for nothing. I think there's a lot of potential for horror movie tie-ins that people would really appreciate being able to go along, not to scare folks, because I think that kind of fights against the vibe of the game, but just you know, locations that we get to clean. Whole horror location DLC would be awesome, like Monsters House, family Addams Family Mansion. Dude, the car. Are you telling me you wouldn't want to wash like the Dracula from the Monsters, or like the Addams Family graveyard? Nakatomi Plaza. Crime scene cleanup DLCs. Man, what was that game? I know one of you guys probably remember because we were just talking about it, but what was that game where you like go along and like clean up after the space fights or whatever? Viscera cleanup detail? Yeah, that sounds right. I think if they did, I think if they took a page out of Viscera cleanup detail and just like they had a DLC of levels where instead of cleaning up dirt, you're cleaning up blood, or like mixed dirt and blood in like a post like space battle scene where like some of the blood is green because of the aliens. You clean up after a James Bond character in the base game. Fallout 3's Megaton. That'd be sweet. Oh, dude. Can you imagine Diamond City from Fallout 4? Or honestly, like any of the vaults. Like I would pay good money to power wash like literally any of the vaults that you start out in. 101, 111, 76 even. It would be so sick to see Power Wash Sin do like a collab with Bethesda, and they could do a Fallout DLC. They could do a Skyrim DLC. I'd be down to do some Skyrim power washing. Probably wouldn't make a lot of sense in world, but you know, fuck it. It doesn't have to make sense. It's Power Wash Sim. I got pretty much that whole wall. I got to get up above so I can get the tops of those things. I was kind of yakking at you guys. I got distracted. So let's do this. Let's go along here and let's clean up the, well, shit. We got this wall already. All right. Back to basics. Let's get this wall on the outside. Clean a Nord tomb. Be right back. Need to mixturate. Vault 33, yeah. Especially if you got 3 dogs spinning tracks the whole time. Oh, dude. I gotta show you something. Bam! There it is. The soothing sounds of the apocalypse. I don't know if this is I think this is an official Fallout release. Yeah. I believe this is an official Fallout release. I don't know if y'all can see that playlist. That's just side A. Orange colored sky. Yeah. I mean, yeah, this is such a sick record. And actually, funny enough, B-side is my favorite. It's got Maybe, it's got Let's Go Sunning, it's got Crawl Out Through the Fallout, I Don't Want to Set the World on Fire. That's all on the B-side. Is it the transparent blue one? Funny you should ask. Wow. It's got blue smoke. It's got like a kind of like a smoky blue pattern. So yes. I was so bummed out when I didn't get the first run of those. And then I ordered, like they went on back order, and I ordered one, and it was like I waited, I don't know, 6 months or something. And they took my money and they put me on the back order list through the, I think it was the IGN store. And I had to like email them and be like, hey, I just found this record for $10 less on Amazon. Can you please send me my money back, please? And they were like, yeah, here. Like, they were cool about it. Don't get me wrong, I'm not shitting on IGN. They were actually, their customer service is actually great. They sent my money back, but I was just bummed that I had to wait 6 months just to find it on Amazon, you know, in a second pressing or whatever. At least they gave you the money back. Yeah, no, they were cool. What are we listening to? Oh, Chicory. Also, I forgot to change the game screen. There we go. Still working on this outer wall. Let me get a little farther in this outer wall. And then 8Ball, I don't think you were here yet. But I did get a record that I've been waiting on that got shipped from Milan. And I will tell you all about it. It's kind of this sick pop punk record from this new artist that I stumbled on, and I liked her stuff so much I bought the vinyl. And now I'm just kind of waiting to see if she ends up doing a pressing for her first record, because this is like her second album that she pressed the vinyl, and I'm hoping that she'll do a pressing of her first album, because I think her first album was like CD only. But yeah, we'll get on all that here in just a little bit. Let me get a little farther in this, and then we'll take a break, and I'll cut open that record on stream. Y'all can watch me open that thing up, and we can check it out together. Petacabo's taking the world's longest pee. I'm just imagining us like hanging out in a room together, and Petacabo comes walking back in like with a sandwich. He's like, "What? I had to pee, and then I got hungry." I've been back for a while, watching with cold dead eyes. Man, if you're cold, you should really warm up. May I suggest the lobby of our lovely ski resort? I believe they have hot chocolate and various flavorful teas available for purchase. Nothing for free. Because billionaires. I just realized I have 2 hoodies on, so I don't know why I'm cold and emo all of a sudden. Well, it's probably because you got 2 hoodies on. If your hoodie needs a hoodie, then your hoodie has emotional problems. Should probably see a therapist. A therapist that specializes in emotional hoodies. All right, let's knock this corner out real quick so I don't have to come back here again. That pretty much everything? Yep. Looks like pretty much everything. Make sure we got everything in this corner. Yep. Pretty much everything. All right. All right, now let's go along the inside here. We're going to start watching stuff tick off as we go. Okay, there's that. My first hoodie is a stoner, so it just wears a hoodie because everyone knows wearing a hoodie with the hood up makes stoners invisible. I do believe they call that ninja mode. This wall seems bigger than I recall from the outside. Maybe it's just all these obstacles that are slowing me down. Like that. That's why I forgot I was wearing 2 hoodies. Here's a question for the chat. Do you think the Invisible Man has trouble with aim when he has to take a piss? Sound off in the comments. If I was invisible, I'd be peeing on all sorts of stuff. You imagine the piss is visible once it leaves the body? I don't know. I mean, urine is a biological fluid, right? So, like, would the urine turn visible when it leaves the body, or would it remain invisible because it's part of his body before it exits? You know what I'm saying? I guess it kind of depends on the science of how the invisibility works. I mean, because urine is a biological fluid, so, you know, like, presumably it would also be invisible, at least while it's inside his body. Doesn't necessarily mean it would become visible once it leaves the body. You know what I'm saying? Is it merely camouflage or biological? That's kind of what I'm saying. Like, I think we're saying the same thing there, 8-Ball. Pets, those kiosks that sell fucking Pokemon cards at the supermarket, you name it. Pokemon kiosks. I don't understand how there's such big business in the Pokemon card space when there's so fucking many Pokemon cards. Like, the economy of secondhand nerd stuff has always been a little weird to me, but in certain contexts, I understand it. For example, video game secondhand market, I understand how it works. Game comes out, gets a little old, people aren't as interested in it. It drops in price. Maybe they release like a greatest hits collection or something for a lower price. Like the economy of the gaming industry has never really been that elusive to me, even in the secondhand market. But then you get into like Lego and Pokemon, stuff that like has quite the secondhand market, but doesn't have the same kind of like valuation principles as something like software. So, like a Lego set never really depreciates in value. It only appreciates as it becomes retired and harder to find. And then further appreciates over time. Vinyl can kind of be the same way, depending on the record. If it's a limited release or a record store day release, like vinyl records can have a similar trajectory as, say, Lego on the secondhand market, because it never really depreciates in value, with some exceptions. Like, I'm always going to kind of throw in that asterisk, because there are always exceptions. It's like with any trading card game, the rarity of specific cards in print, variety of the card type, whether or not it's foil, hollow, or whatever, or the new variants is. I mean, no, 8-Ball, that part I understand. What I don't understand is how people get so worked up about it when there's so fucking many of them. I bet some Kanye albums have depreciated like a motherfucker. You know, you'd think so. But I don't think they have. Passion? I mean, passion's what drives both the first and secondhand markets. Like the secondhand market is largely dictated by the first-hand market in terms of like the economics of how that market gets priced out, right? So like, yeah, passion for a product like Pokemon cards, for example, is kind of at the root of both the first and secondhand market. I'm talking specifically about the sort of the structure of the secondhand market. Certain products that do well on the secondhand market, they don't have the same type of like U-shaped trajectory like video games do, where like video games will depreciate for an amount of time before they start to appreciate again. We've seen it with, you know, I mean, honestly, insert every console that's been released before the current generation. I mean, Wii U games were so dirt cheap for so long, and now they're starting to appreciate again. And at this point, because Wii U games are so far out of print, they probably won't depreciate again. From here, they're going to just continue to trend upward as they get older and harder to find. But I also know, multiple people that have complete Wii U collections. And mind you, just to be clear, I'm not looking for an answer here. It's just more just me sort of like wondering out loud. I absolutely do not expect anybody to give me a real answer to those things. Those are, honestly, those are the kinds of questions that if I had an answer, I'd be a far more wealthy man. And I don't want it to come off like I'm knocking Pokemon cards or whatever either. Like, people are into whatever they're into. That is not a judgmental observation on my part, and I hope it's not being interpreted that way, because that's not how it's intended. Really, from my perspective, it's more a matter of like how the hell does that work? And especially with my interest in Lego, because I love me some Lego. But the secondhand Lego market is wild. The secondhand Lego market is absolutely wild. And Lego is deeply aware of the kind of shenanigans that go on in the secondhand market. And they have proven that they absolutely do not care. They don't care. So, it is what it is. I appreciate that Lego at least is a company that nobody's mad at, right? They're not involved in politics. They're not doing anything to marginalize anybody. They try to be as sustainable as possible and as inclusive as possible. And I appreciate that they're at least making those efforts. Not every company can say that. So I got to give it to Lego for that. But also, they're still a company, and companies have issues. Even the best ones like Lego still have their issues. I do not love the way that Lego sort of turns a blind eye to the very secondhand market that they are feeding with their limited release sets and stuff. But that's another conversation for another time, I think. The Danish are a shrewd bunch. Oh, I am well aware that the chat's full of nerds. It's almost like I designed it that way on purpose. Funny how that works. Yeah. 8-Ball. I don't think did we see you on Wednesday? Did I get to wish you a happy new year properly? I've grown to dislike the word nerd. Okay. This ought to be good. Tell me, Pedicabo, why have you grown to dislike the word nerd? I have my own thoughts and feelings about it, but I would love it if you shared yours first. Oh, well, 8-Ball, Happy New Year. I hope you have good things in store for you in 2026. And I hope that you are as elated as I am that 2025 is finally fucking over. Because man, that was one of those years that I was looking forward to it being over. There we go. Ding. Let's go. I get the whole taking the word back thing, but it's lost all meaning. It's as though everyone just figured out one day in 2012 that you could just really like a thing a whole lot, whether anyone else cares about it. And they tried to make a tribe of that out of that realization. Yeah, all right. Sorta. I do see where you're coming from. That the name has certainly, or that the word nerd has certainly changed in terms of its tone and impact over the years. It certainly doesn't mean the same thing in 2026 that it meant in 1986, for example. Or honestly, or 96 or 06. Like, you can go decade by decade and watch the word nerd just completely change over the years. God knows that word's been around a lot longer than the 1900s, you know? And then some people sniffed Easy Bunny out of it. That's the end of anything genuine about it. Now, see, that's where I think we disagree. I think that there are some businesses that have tried to capitalize on the culture. I think there are also some grifters out there that have tried to use nerd culture to progress some really shitty views and values. See also Gamergate. You know, like I think that the word itself, though, you know, it's one of those things that can mean different things to different people. And as somebody who adopted the term as part of his identity a very long time ago, and is still living that identity today, even in his 40s. You know, I think that I think that the thing about authenticity is that it can't be bought. And so if somebody uses the word nerd to describe themselves authentically, then no amount of commerce or opportunism is going to take away from that authenticity. There will always be bad actors who will try to capitalize on anything they can get their hands on. That's why those of us who have our home in those cultures continue to do the best we can to share what we have and be inclusive. Yeah. I mean, it's tough because, like, there are certain fandoms, certain sort of subsects within nerd culture that, you know, say, for example, a certain movie or TV show or book where the person who created that thing that was beloved by nerd culture turns out to be kind of a monster. And then nerd culture at large has to sort of adjust and decide whether they want to continue to support that creator or not. Doesn't seem to me like there is a nerd culture. It's just people being enthusiastic about something the rest of the world doesn't care much about. It's too diverse and nebulous to make anything like a culture. Again, I think I gotta disagree with you there, Pedicabo, because I think that there's a lot about the culture of being a nerd that is different from being nerdy about something. And that's where I think a lot of people sort of get lost in the labels of it. You can be nerdy about something without being a nerd. And it's okay to be passionate about a thing or enjoy a thing without taking on the label, right? So too, do I think it's valid to identify as part of a culture that has a specific subset of common interests, like video games and science fiction and fantasy and, escapism media, right? That's largely what's at the core of comic conventions and video game conventions and science fiction conventions. Those are the parts that are easy to identify, right? Anime nerds, man. Anime nerds are some passionate motherfuckers. And, so they get their own cons and shit. Doesn't necessarily mean that everybody who likes anime is a nerd. That's just like societal assumptions being applied. So I think where the disconnect, based on what I'm hearing from you, Pedicabo, I think where the disconnect happens is that your perception of the idea of the label as it applies, that perception may be colored by a bit of a different experience with it than the experiences that I've had. As somebody who's been, who's grew up in a computer store and, had a lifelong label that I've identified with since I was young, being the only kid on the playground talking about X-Men and Power Rangers and shit. Being the only one in the school that was like carrying around comic books and video game magazines during recess and shit. Like, I figured out I was pretty different pretty early on. And neurodiversity doesn't have anything to do with it necessarily. But it tends to attract a lot of the neurodivergent folks, and that's cool. Like, that's just one area of people that are attracted by this culture that we identify as nerd or nerdy, right? Like, is it a little nebulous? Sure. Has it kind of expanded in recent decades? Absolutely. But most of the folks that would identify as part of that culture, I think, would argue that the expansion and nebulousness, if that's a word, the nebulousness of the idea of nerd culture is kind of the point. It's people who are excluded and ostracized for their passions coming together to either be passionate about those things that they're passionate about or find new passions in the passions of others, find new interests. Here's the hilarious thing. I'm a director in an anime convention and I'm not even that into anime. I do like it, but it's not my main passion. In nerd culture, there's a space for everyone. Yeah. Yeah, couldn't have said it better myself, A-Ball. But here's it, and now let me flip this around on its head, though, A-Ball. I know Pedicabo in person. He's one of my like IRL friends. And that dude has some nerdy ass interests. And so, like, it's one of those things where, as members of nerd culture, we encourage people to adopt the moniker of nerd and sort of, like we invite, like, we're quick to invite people to take on the label. But I think it's equally important not to push away people who don't want to adopt that label. If somebody reads science fiction, is into movies and TV shows and books, but doesn't want to identify as a nerd, I still think we need to be accepting of those folks as well. Because if acceptance is the point, then we can't pick and choose. The only exception, the obvious exception, of course, being the the folks who want to use the label of nerd to do harm. Then those people can go fuck themselves. But that is, but I know Pedicabo well enough to know that is not the case here. He's absolutely not trying to do any harm. He's not that person. Label is fine if it's useful. I think it may be too limiting though. I see a lot of people looking for labels for themselves and not appreciating the labels. That labels aren't the thing they label. Yeah, I mean, and honestly, I've been in many situations where I've, been on a panel. I mean, hell, I hosted a panel with some nerdcore artists back in like 2014 at Rose City Comic Con, and one of those nerdy artists literally sat on my panel and explained to a room full of my guests that they felt like labels for their music were only useful in a record store, and they didn't really want to define or label the music that they made because they felt like it was too limiting to put their music in a box. And from their perspective, I can see where they're coming from. I respect it. I don't agree with it, but I respect it. And that's the important distinction. Because while they, as an artist, don't view the concept of a label as being that important to their music, as a fucking DJ, I have to have that label. I have to know that the room that I'm playing wants hip hop or wants country or wants pop music or wants soul music. Like, I don't have the luxury of living without labels. I call myself an open format DJ because I want to be able to play any kind of music I want, but I still need labels to know what the hell kind of room I'm in, Maybe I'm just too much of a contrarian. Me and Groucho Marx would never join a club who'd have me as a member. Well, while I appreciate the Groucho Marx reference, I think you're gonna very quickly find that the analogy falls apart when you realize that truly being a part of the nerd community means that you're accepted whether you identify or not. So I can certainly tell you that any of the professional nerds that I work with and that I collaborate with would be more than happy to have you as a member of our tribe, as you put it. And not for nothing, like speaking on authenticity, like, you check all the boxes, my guy. Like, if you don't want to adopt the label, fine, that's your prerogative. But I'm here to tell you, I got a lot of friends that you would get along with. Many of whom you already get along with. So, take that for what it's worth. I'm not so concerned how others see me. I'm much too self-absorbed for that. Fair point. Fair point. I guess I can't be mad at you for being self-absorbed as long as you're honest about it, right? Anybody who's that upfront about who they are, you can't really fault them. Come on. Get up there. There we go. I make it? Fell short. That's fine. I can go up this side. There we go. Let's see. Where do I want to go from here? We got the floor needs to be done. We already get the fire pit. These chairs for sure need to get done. Let's do this. Let's get around this side, and then I'll circle back around this front side of the cable car, and then we'll work our way back across the deck. I want to try to get everything down here that I can before I go up top and try to hit the stuff on the roof. I keep expecting fall damage. Yeah, there's no fall damage in this game, thankfully. I actually really appreciate the choice not to do any fall damage for this game. Just, you know, one more anxiety inducing thing that they took away from this game, just to kind of make it even more chill. Hey, 8-Ball, you beat me to it. Nice work. Stupid bots. Ain't the bot's fault, it just works here. No, it's very much the bot's fault. The bots shouldn't be here. It's less of an employee situation and more of a infestation type of situation. Mr. Pilkington was hungry. Mr. Pilkington. Glad to have Mr. Pilkington on our team. Mr. Pilkington, of course, for anybody wondering, is the name of 8-Ball's bandhammer. 8-Ball named his bandhammer Mr. Pilkington. Wait, your tactical manhammer? Hold up. Pause. Tactical Manhammer was 8-Ball's stripper name back in his dancing days. Oh man, 8-Ball, that is some gnarly Freudian slippage, my dude. Made good money before you got that hip injury. Isn't that always how it goes, though? Every professional athlete goes until their joints give out, and then it's time to retire. Honestly, if you're still dancing in your 30s, then you didn't go hard enough in your 20s. Yeah, I could see a male burlesque dancer wearing a Spock uniform. That is absolutely a thing that probably exists somewhere. Going slow to make sure we don't miss any spots. Nice and easy with the rotational tool. The rotational tool was 8Ball's big finishing move on stage. No, it was the Pawn Farm Mind Meld. There's like 50 years of fanfic to pull gimmicks from. I imagine the right bowl cut young man could make an easy killing at the cons. I mean, you're not wrong there either. There are plenty of professional cosplayers that do pretty well for themselves at the conventions by just showing up in costume and then either signing stuff or selling signed stuff. I got a buddy that's an incredibly talented cosplayer, but he hasn't gone full pro yet. And honestly, I don't think he will, because he and his wife bought a house and they need the stable income from his day job. So he probably won't go full, full-time cosplay. But man, I keep telling that dude to let me shoot some portraits with him in his Mandalorian armor or whatever. He needs the right photographer that can do him justice. And I could take some good shots for sure, but it's just it's one of those things that he does it for a hobby. He likes to have fun with it, and he keeps winning. That's the thing that I keep trying to tell him. He keeps winning costume contests. So I'm just like, dude, you keep winning these freaking contests. You might as well go pro. And he's just like, yeah, I don't want to. All right, man, whatever. What am I missing? Oh, there's a spot there. Okay, sure. And then there's definitely some stuff up front here. And then on top, there we go. Got a nice little... Ah, shit. I fell off the wall. There's a dwarf-shaped smudge. That's funny. Okay, let's see. We got down kind of in between the cushions. We got to get this side. Yeah, okay. What else are we missing? The underside here. There's a spot there. Oh, there we go. Okay. We for sure forgot these chairs back here. Knock these out real quick. There's one. There's two. Table's good. Let's see. We got the chairs. We got the floor. We got to get this floor. We're getting dangerously close to heading up to the roof. We're getting a lot of this done though. We didn't forget that shit. All right. That's fair. I forgot to get the chairs back there, but it's fine. I went back and got them. They're good now. See, look. I'm pushing the button. Nothing back there is lighting up because I already got all of it. I like the rotary tool, man, but this is just faster. It just is. I almost feel like they need an upgraded rotary tool. Like the rotary washer is nice. It's a nice addition to the tool set, but like they need an upgraded one or a bigger one, or maybe one that spins faster so that it doesn't leave little spots behind it if you go too fast. I don't know, man. I really like the new ideas that are being presented here, but like they also for sure have some room to grow still. All right, so most of this is done down here. I've been properly trained not to backseat, even though your lack of head look is clearly a moral failing. You know what? Somebody popped into my stream on Wednesday that had never been here before, and they asked me about the head look thing. And you know, it's just a matter of choice, man. And I was kind of like, I was talking to them about it, and I think I was kind of speculating that like the way that I move, the way that I use movement to move instead of using the free look, I think comes from older video games, like older first person games. You know, my LAN days when I was a teenager was spent largely on things like Duke Nukem and Quake and Unreal Tournament. Like back when, like, I don't know, man. It's just the way that I use movement instead of using free look just kind of it just clicks more for me, I guess. I'm older than you, child. If I can adjust, you can too. All right, hang on. Don't go getting condescending on me now, because I promise you, you don't want to go hours to hours with me. I started in the 80s on the fucking Amiga. I've been around, my dude. You need a Roomba that you can set and forget to periodically pick up to dump dirty water. I don't know if a Roomba would be the right move for a game like this, though, because like that might be too much autonomy. Like part of the fun of this game is you do it yourself, you know? So I feel like a Roomba type device, like an automated floor washing system, would just kind of take away from that autonomy. And would kind of, I think it would kind of like not fit the game loop. I don't care what you say. I'm committed to the bit of being irrationally annoyed by your lack of head look. Fine. Be annoyed. For that person that stopped by on New Year's Eve, though, that probably will never come back here, they were not, for them, it wasn't a bit. They actually were asking me about it, and they straight up said that it was like making them nauseous watching me play without head look, which doesn't make sense to me because like it would make me more nauseous to play with head look. That's part of the reason why I don't do it too. Is that like doing this makes me crazy. I have so much less control over like a specific space. This actually drives me nuts, and it's so much more chaotic. Like I power wash the same way that I mow lawns, dude. Like if you watch me power wash, I move in very long, very deliberate lines as much as I can. Like I'm not perfect, you know, not in everything. You need to turn up the mouse look sensitivity. Shiyakun is here. Hey, Shiyakun, welcome. It's not a sensitivity problem. It's that type of movement doesn't compute for my brain. And I cannot stress how important this is. That's okay. You can play this game however you want to play it. I will play it how I want to play it. And we can just enjoy some lo-fi together. I mean, this is lo-fi Aerith's theme, for God's sake. Pedicabo, I know you love some Final Fantasy VII, my dude. Hope everyone enjoyed their news. Yeah, likewise, Shikun. By the way, Happy New Year. Happy 2026. I hope that you have some very good things happening for you in 2026. I for one, since you admitted that you're wrong, I didn't admit any such thing. Pedicabo, you gotta stop trolling me on these lo-fi streams, dude. We're here to chill, man. My boss has been hungover for 2 days. Wait, is this your boss? It's got to be your boss at the new job, right? What was I saying? Oh yeah, I was responding kind of to Shikun. I for one am glad that 2025 is over. That year needed to be over, and I'm glad we got through it. It's now in the rear view. We're moving on to 2026. I've got a meeting on Monday that is gonna potentially dictate a good chunk of my calendar year. So I'm looking forward to that. I've also got some fun projects in the works that I get to share with you all. Some things that I'm hoping to share with you will actually be sooner than you think. And then there's a big project that's happening. Actually, and at this point, he's pushed the deadline back, so it might not actually be available until next year. There's like a big book project that I got to be a part of, and at this point, the book might not be out until 27, so we'll see what happens. I don't want to say too much more than that. I hope I have something going for me this year. We'll see. Noped out 5 minutes before quitting time. Grunted nice weekend and pissed off. Casually optimistic. Hey, you know what? Pedicaba, you got yourself a new job. Things are looking up for 26. I wish you the best for 26 as well, my guy. My birthday's in less than 2 weeks, so there's that. What day is your birthday, 8Ball? If you're willing to share, please don't feel obligated, of course. But if you're willing to share with us, which specific day is supposed to be your birthday? The 15th? Oh, okay. Interesting. There's no way for you to know this because we actually just got approved. But the day after your birthday, I'm going to be doing a Star Trek panel at Fan Expo. We haven't really done much as far as marketing because we literally just found out. But if you're around Fan Expo at all that weekend, I would love to have you in the panel on Friday. I believe it's like Friday at 5:30 or something. Like it's later in the day. But I don't remember exactly when. I'll have to find out. I don't think we're doing like a meetup this time. I think it's just the panel. So I'll probably, like, it's probably going to be one of those things where I'll just have Carrie like drop me off and then hang out for, an hour while I go do the panel real quick. And then I'll head home. I don't expect I'll be hanging out at Fan Expo too much outside of the panel. Outside of the like sort of time constraints of the panel. Fan Expo didn't get back in touch with me this year, which is a little bit of a bummer. But as I understand it, they kind of went through some staffing changes and some budget stuff. So it probably is one of those things where they had to make some cuts. And I imagine I probably was one of those cuts they had to make. Star Trek panel, that's awesome. Yeah, Shuyukun, I got a couple of friends here in Portland that we host Star Trek panels where we talk about like what's coming up in the Star Trek universe. Both in the TV shows and movies, but also like podcasts, events, things like cruises and conventions and stuff like that, all kind of in and around the Star Trek space. And yeah, we talk, we do that at most of the major conventions in the Portland area. Fan Expo, Rose City Comic Con, others. And I will have a new project adjacent to that later this year, but I can't talk about that yet. Yes, we are also very excited for the debut of Starfleet Academy. And funny enough, Starfleet Academy debuts on your birthday. I'm sure you probably already do that, but yeah, it's funny because we're gonna be talking about Starfleet Academy at the panel the day after it debuts on Paramount Plus. So it'll be very interesting. I know there's a lot of Star Trek fans that don't love the idea of giving Paramount money right now. So like, it's going to be one of those, like we're going to try not to spoil too much. But also like there's going to be a lot of excitement around Starfleet Academy as a show. We're going to be able to kind of give some initial thoughts and feelings about it. And then we get to kind of look forward to the future of like what's happening with the Star Trek franchise under the new Paramount management, what their plans are. I know they're talking about another reboot movie, which is kind of weird. I don't know why they're trying to reboot again, but whatever. Management aside, as long as Terry Metalis is attached, I'm down for it. I think Terry Metalis is more than proven his mettle when it comes to his Star Trek writing and production. Between Strange New Worlds and Picard and Discovery. I'm heading out. I've got just putting frozen pizza with my name written all over it. Hey, Petacabo, is always good to see you, my guy. Thank you for stopping by. Happy New Year. A-Ball says, I need more Tilly in my life. Yeah, well, we're going to get more Tilly for sure. Chris Pine Altverse was fantastic. I'd be happy to stay there. Oh yeah, the Kelvin universe. That's the Kelvin timeline. And I don't think we're gonna get that back. They've talked for years about trying to do a fourth film in the Kelvin universe with Chris Pine and oh no, I'm blanking on his name. The guy that played Bones. Fuck. Zachary Quinto was Spock, and then Carl Urban. Carl Urban, thank you. Yeah, Carl Urban as Bones was peak content, second only to do. Yeah, no, Carl Urban was fantastic. I mean, honestly, the cast of the Kelvin universe films was pretty great, and I really enjoyed what they were doing. I was a little disappointed in the choice that they made with Into Darkness to try and rehash the Wrath of Khan stuff, but you know, whatever. There's another Star Trek show coming out. Yeah, so Shikun, on the 15th of this month is the new Star Trek Starfleet Academy. And it's a live action show that takes place after Star Trek Discovery with several of the same characters from Star Trek Discovery. Lieutenant Tilly is going to be back. We're getting actually one of the characters I'm really looking forward to returning for Starfleet Academy is Tig Notaro's engineer character, whose name I cannot remember for the life of me. But Tig Notaro is fantastic and hilarious, and I could watch her in anything. So like the fact that she's going to be coming back for Starfleet Academy as an engineering instructor is like pretty peak for me. But funny enough, they also got Robert Picardo to reprise his role as the emergency medical hologram from Star Trek Voyager. So if you remember Star Trek Voyager, Robert Picardo played the emergency medical hologram, aka the doctor, like the holographic doctor on Voyager. He's going to be back as the emergency medical hologram in the new Starfleet Academy. And he's going to be training the new generation of Starfleet medical officers. I would switch from science to engineering if I could work with Tig. I mean, you might not even have to switch departments, man. Like, engineering and science are pretty overlapped in a lot of areas. Trying to knock out this trim. It's a little bit slow going, but we're making progress. Robert Picardo, yeah. My first track would be Xenolinguistics, but I would also consider Stellar Cartography. You know what's funny is like as much as I love the fantasy of thinking of myself in a command role, being a leader, being somebody who can be relied on for, you know, away team missions and for, you know, diplomatic stuff. In reality, I think that the character from Star Trek that I probably identify with the most is Vic Fontaine. And if you know who that is, then I probably don't need to explain further. If you don't remember who that is, go ahead and let me know, and I'd be happy to elaborate. I remember the other older members that went into those new Star movies. Hold up. Shiikan, which older members are you talking about? Unfortunately, you have to narrow it down some because there were several. Don't take requests from Klingons. Never. Those Klingons are never satisfied anyway. They only make requests when they're looking to pick a fight, which is basically always. You haven't really heard Fall Out Boy until you've heard it in the original Klingon. No thanks. I think I'm good. Can't remember the name, but Patrick Stewart was in it. He reprised his role in 2 movies. Are you talking about the movies from the early 2000s? Like the post Next Generation films, like Star Trek Generation, Star Trek First Contact. Oh, they were shows. Okay. Oh, are you talking about Picard? Like the show Picard? That was basically like a continuation of Next Generation? Because I'm here to tell you that show was sick. Yeah, they had 3 seasons of Picard and it was dope. First of all, I was super happy to see, you know, Jean-Luc Picard back in action with some of his old buddies, right? Like seeing Picard take on a new Borg Queen with Commander Riker again, or I guess Admiral Riker now. Yeah, like so sick. But then like that the third season of Picard, where we got a bunch of the old Enterprise crew to sort of like reunite with each other. We got Geordi back, we got Data back, we got Worf back, we got Crusher back, we got Troy back. Like that shot of them on the bridge of the Enterprise D in their like modern Star Trek Picard uniforms. Like 3 seasons of a TV show just for that one shot, and it was worth it. Oh yeah, I'm not gonna spoil anything else for you, but absolutely go watch that. Yeah, Picard, the series Picard was so good, and it was especially the last season, the third and final season of Picard was everything that I wanted as somebody who was introduced to Star Trek with Next Generation. My father introduced me to Star Trek The Next Generation as my introduction to the entire Star Trek franchise. And so Next Generation is so incredibly close to my heart as a Star Trek fan. And so when we got Star Trek Picard a couple of years ago, and especially that third season of Picard that they did, man, and then getting to talk about that on stage in a panel after it happened was so amazing. The only thing left to do now is I have to make some money so I can buy the Lego set. That's one of my big goals this year, is to get my hands on that Enterprise set. I missed out on the shuttle as a gift with purchase, which makes me kind of sad, but I'm still gonna work on trying to get my hands on that Enterprise set. It's like $400, but you know, Lego did their first ever licensed Star Trek set, and it's the Enterprise D, the one that I grew up with as a kid. So they are absolutely gonna get my money if I have any say in the matter. The good news is, worst case scenario, if I can't figure out financially a way to get my hands on that Lego set by like November, I've got a really big gig in October, and I will absolutely be picking up that Lego set after my big gig in October. Okay, we got most of this roof sorted. All the skylights are sorted. We have one more roof panel here, and then like, we're not done. We still have, oh, there's that whole section. Oh God, all of this too. Yeah, we're not done. We got a ways, but that's okay. Let's get this knocked out, and then we'll jump down there and kind of keep plugging away. Let's change it up. Let's give ourselves a little bit of a different vibe here. This is kind of what I was talking about when Petacabo was giving me shit about not using Freelook. Like, I don't use Freelook because this is a good example of why Freelook would be too limiting for something like this. If I want to make these long strides, you know, in terms of efficiency, I've mowed enough lawns in my lifetime to know that you're only cutting grass if you're moving, right? So, like, I don't want to just stand in one spot and sweep back and forth. You're going to get a lot of overlap and a lot of redundancy that way. It's going to be a lot more efficient to take your time and pass over a section once rather than twice. Like, see here, I went too fast, so I had all these extra little bits that I missed, right? So I'm going to double back, and this time I'm going to slow down so I don't end up with the leftovers. See, there we go. Now I don't have any, you know, it's like, and by the way, like, just to be clear, like, Petacabo is one of my IRL buddies from college, and, you know, being a contrarian and trolling a little bit is, like, that's one of the ways that he likes to joke around. So I know that he's not being all that serious when he goofs off in the chat like that, which is why I put up with it from him. But the thing is, like, I know him personally, and I've known him for 20 years. So, like, you know, he gets a pass. And that's, I think, one of the luxuries of having a small community like this is that I get to kind of point a finger at somebody, like, you know, somebody I've been friends with for 20 years and go, you know what, you get a pass. And it's not that big a deal. If I had 1,000 people in my chat right now and my chat was just running up like crazy, the way that I manage a chat like that would be so different. And the way that I sort of manage my stream in a situation like that would be very different. I kind of like having a small community for these lo-fi streams because I can be a lot more intimate and I can like chat with you guys more directly. I really enjoy that. I do wish we had a few more folks in here. Like I wish we were a little bigger than we are, but I don't want to get super big because that starts to erode the my ability to be personal with you all. Because this isn't just about, I don't do this to make money. I do this because I want to connect with the community, I want all y'all to be up in here hanging out and enjoying each other's company and being nerds together and shit. That's the whole point. So like, if 1,000 people showed up tomorrow, like I'm not going to kick them out. We'd still do our best, but like y'all would see me engage a lot more on Discord. Because if I can't engage with you here on the stream, you best believe I'd be up in that Discord hanging out with y'all a lot more than I do currently. Okay, this is stupid. What am I doing? I'm letting the intrusive thoughts win. That's what I'm doing. Come on. You're better than this. Trying to get this trim. There we go. Roof ledge trim, and then oh yeah, that wall needs to go. Yeah, too many people in the chat would be scrolling crazy fast. I mean, yeah, that's the thing is like I'm okay with it not doing that. Like this is supposed to be a chill kind of vibey stream, So like too many people, it'd be hard to chill. You do your best. You try to like encourage people to embrace the vibe of the stream, and you ask people to be chill in the chat and whatnot. But like, have you ever been to the chat on a lo-fi girl stream? It's a hellscape. That's about the nicest way I can put it. There's so many people that are just like bickering with each other in a lo-fi girl stream. And I remember watching that one time and just being like, why are you guys fighting about politics? It's a fucking lo-fi stream. You're supposed to be chilling. And then there's other people that are like yelling at the people that are bickering with each other. Like, hey, you guys knock it off. Like it's supposed to be a chill stream, so then you got people that are kind of policing each other. And like, it's not for me, man. I like this. I like hanging out with y'all. And I like playing just chill games and listening to some chill vibes. Now, having said that, there's every possibility that I will start, making clips and trying to grow a little bit more of a thing on social media, and that could lead to other people coming and hanging out in the chat. So we may grow a little bit, but like I said, if this Twitch thing gets out of control ever, that's what the Discord is for. And if the Discord gets out of control, we have a lot more tools and abilities in the Discord to be able to control what kind of nonsense goes on in there or doesn't, frankly. I've seen the videos of streamers with all their IRL drama and I'm like, hell no, this is way better. Yeah. That's it though. Like, you're not going to catch me calling out other streamers, causing drama, pointing fingers, like doing sensational bullcrap just to try and like get clicks, or trying to get clips for my TikTok. Like, I don't give a shit about any of that stuff. I'm just here to power wash and vibe, you know? I had somebody that was asking me, like, why don't you DJ more? Like, if you call yourself a DJ on Twitch, why don't you DJ more? It's like, I DJ so much in real life that if I'm doing Twitch, it's to hang out with people, man. Like, I'm just chilling. This is not where I go to DJ. This is where I go to get away from DJing. And it's weird to me that people can't understand that. They have this sort of like preconceived idea in their head of what a DJ should be on Twitch. And that's fine. The thing is, like, I'm not even going to fault them for that. Like, they can have their ideas of what a DJ or what they think a DJ should be on Twitch. And if I don't fit that expectation, then maybe I'm not for them. And I am very okay with that. Thankfully, I haven't run into anybody that's been like offended at my approach to streaming. I've had one or two DJs that have like asked me about it, like sort of in real life, like DJs that are sort of in my IRL circle. That have been like, dude, why don't you pull out the turntables or whatever? It's like, because that's not what this is for me. I don't want to do that online. I want to do that offline. And then when I'm online, I want to do Powerwash Sim. I want to play lo-fi tunes. I want to like kick it with my nerdy homies and enjoy video games and records and whatnot. Oh shit, that reminds me, I got a record to open. I completely forgot I said I was going to open that record for y'all. Lo-fi streaming and chill is escaping the noise. Exactly, Shiyakun. You totally get it. That's what I'm talking about. I genuinely love that I don't have to explain that to you, because you absolutely get it. Hey, Paul says finish this roof piece and then record. All right, let me finish this real quick. I mean, we're getting so close to being done with this level. Here, let me just finish this real quick. You know what's funny is I think this is the first stream where I haven't seen Snowhole in months. That dude popped into my stream while he was on vacation in Portland for the Retro Gaming Expo. Like, he was watching my stream from a cafe table at the convention. So it's weird. It's weird to me that he's not here tonight. But I hope whatever he's doing, he's enjoying himself, you know. All right, there's that. How much we got left? Entrance window frames, roof underside. That's the one I'm about to do. And then oh, there's like a wall post, a snowboard, and a outer cable car window frame. No, 8Ball's been here. 8Ball pops in and out when they can. It's, you know, it's funny. 8Ball got a new job this last year, and so that kind of changed up some of their schedule. But you know, it's cool. And that's sort of the other, like, this kind of falls right into what I'm talking about though, man. Like, I love that, like, people can kind of pop in and out, and I'm good with it. Like, I don't need y'all to be here every single night. It's okay. I want you all to live your lives and enjoy yourselves. And I want to be here for you when you need me here, you know? Like, I'll tell y'all, hey, Wednesdays and Fridays. And if you happen to find yourself in need of some lo-fi on a Wednesday or a Friday, come kick it. You know where I'll be. I kind of take that from I take that philosophy from some of the old, like, late night radio shows. Like, nighttime radio DJs used to, like, you know, they get real quiet on the microphone, and they'd have a real chill late night voice. Good evening, everybody. Thank you for hanging out tonight. So glad to hear and see all of you lovely folks. Don't go anywhere. We've got something special coming up for you. Let's see. We got a snowboard. We got a poster. Nope, window frame. Oh, and there's a post. Okay, we're about done here. One more thing to clear, and then we're done. Nope. Get off me. It's this thing. Oh, I see it. Okay, got it. New items are available in the shop. Well, now we got to go check out the shop. Look at me go. Look at me go. Look at me go. All right, that's enough. Let's go to home base. We're going to take a quick pause. Let's check out the new items in the shop. What do we got? Furniture catalog. Oh, that's a cool looking chair. What is that? Retro sofa? Okay, that's kind of sick, actually. Vista 3000, Vista Pro, Urban X Stream. Unparalleled power, but at a cost to the area of effect. Okay. Got it. Don't really need the adaptable nozzle. Furniture, gloves. We got some van decals. I dig the flames. I dig the orange soda. Well, that's kind of cool looking. Pink racing stripe. I miss the time in my life when I listened to Coast to Coast AM on the drive home from Fry's at like 11:30 at night. Yeah, that's facts though. I don't see a lot of new shit in the store really, like cosmetics maybe, I guess. I don't know. We got some different color options. Oh, those gradients are cool. I don't think I saw those before. That's kind of wild, actually. Then we got gloves. We got boots. We could do the boots. We could do the gloves. We can do the gradients. We got mask options. Sure. All right, let's pump the brakes for a second. I want to go to intermission screen. I want to show you all this record I picked up. I'm kind of stoked about this, and if I remember correctly, yep, got my knife right here. Okay. Stand by. This is going to take a second for me to actually cut this open. These record sleeve things are supposed to be self-sealing, but they always tape over the self-sealing thing. So like kind of defeats the purpose. I don't know why they do that. Maybe it's because they don't seal very well, and so they don't want them to come apart in the mail. I don't know. There we go. Okay, let's see. And there's a bit of a glare there, but that is volume 2 from, man, you really can't read that font, can you? So the band's called Me and the Robots, and it's a band, but it's actually like a one-person outfit. I think she plays all the instruments and stuff and does all the singing herself. So like I think it's more like she's just an artist. But it's very pop punky. If you look up Me and the Robots, like on whatever streaming service you use, you'll find her stuff. I ordered this straight off of her website. She has a website with some merch. This is available on the merch. She's also got CD and I think cassette versions as well. But this is her second album, because I don't think she ever pressed her first album to vinyl. Probably like a cost prohibitive kind of thing. But this is kind of an interesting record, because it's one that I found sort of just by, existing on the internet, and listen to the music, love the music, decided to buy the record and support. And so I'm stoked to have this and sort of add it to the collection. I really hope she releases the first album. As much as I like the album art here, this is just the tip of the iceberg. The real visuals, if you go digging around on like her YouTube channel, you'll get to see a much better representation of the kind of visuals that she's capable of. And the visuals are like half of the thing. Like the music's good, but the visuals with the music is what really kind of sells the whole package. Let me see if I can cut this open for you. I don't remember what color the record is. I think it's a similar shade of blue, like a kind of a teal blue, or like a sea foam. No, that's not seafoam. Here, let me see if I can crack this open without cutting the inner sleeve. There we go. It's like I've done this before. Perfect. So we've got lyrics on the inner sleeve for side A and side B. As a DJ, I always turn my inner sleeves 90 degrees yeah, 90 degrees so that I can pull this, so I can pull the record from the sleeve faster. And I don't recommend that everybody does this. This is just something I do as a DJ, so when I go to pull my records. But that's the record. I mean, it's a lovely shade of blue. No marbling, nothing special. Just a lovely shade of blue. Stunning color. I completely agree. And frankly, fits really well with the vibe of Power Wash, if I'm being honest. So that's me and the robots. Yeah. I'm looking forward to spinning this a few times. Probably not going to give it a lot of play. This is one of those that's like for me. It's probably not going to see a lot of play out at like shows and stuff. Unless she takes off. Like if she gets like crazy popular on TikTok or something, then I'll be glad that I've got it sitting on the shelf, but I don't see that happening necessarily. But that's not why I bought it. Like I bought it. This is one that I bought for me. So me and the robots, check her out. And, thank me later. All right. Well, it's about 9:30. It's a little after 9:30. I think this is probably a good place to call it for tonight. Rather than start another level. I do want to kind of peek in though. What is the next thing we got to do? An extra long. Ooh, you know what? We can squeeze this one in. No, I changed my mind. Looking at this is going to be a short one. And a really fun one. No. We're not going to save it. This will be a fast one. This is going to go fast. Look at this thing. Are you kidding me? What do you mean save it? Hell no, I'm not going to save it. We got to go. This thing needs to be scrub-a-dub-dubbed as fast as possible. What does that say? Oh, Big Boss. It says B16B055. Spells Big Boss. I wonder if this is the guy who owns the ski palace. Missing longhorns on the front, right? Yeah, it's giving Boss Hog from Dukes of Hazzard for sure. 1, 2, 3. What is up with those tires? Are you kidding me? Are those gold tires? This whole vehicle is absolutely ridiculous. Why would you have 6 wheels up front and then 6 in the middle and then 6 in the back? Also, there's a helicopter pad on the roof of the limo. Doug Dimmadome of Dimsdale Dimmadome. Who was, in fact, partially designed to emulate Boss Hog. among other characters. Like Doug Dimmadome works so well as a character because he's a caricature. And Boss Hog is one of the characters that he is absolutely parodying. The white, the bolo tie and the white suit, like that's Boss Hog all day long. The big stupid cowboy hat, like come on. Hold up. What am I missing? How am I not getting this tire? Am I missing a spot? Oh yeah, there we go. Okay. All right, so we got the door handle. Let's get the mirror. There we go. There's the mirror. All right, there's a window. Yeah, I told y'all this is gonna go fast. Look at that. There's a door and a window. Let's get another window and another window and another door. Get the undercarriage there. Let's get the handle. Okay. Window, door, window. Got it. The taillights on this thing are absolutely batshit crazy. Look at it. Look at these. Look at these. Look at it. Are you kidding me? Is that a hot tub? Of course it's a hot tub. And of course I have to clean the hot tub. Big stupid spoiler for this is definitely like a cosmetic spoiler. There's no way that thing actually generates downforce. Like there's no way this big monstrosity of a thing could even get up fast enough to generate downforce from a spoiler like this. So I don't even know why the hell it's here other than just to be obnoxious. Gold rims and orange tires giving me Rodman vibes. Yeah. 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 I see it. I've seen a couple of clips bouncing around on TikTok recently about Rodman and about what kind of player he was when he was in the NBA. That dude is crazy. Like as a player, he was such an intimidating force. And it's funny, like the one clip that I was watching, somebody was interviewing Michael Jordan and sort of expressed to Michael Jordan that they didn't think that Rodman was a very good player. And Michael Jordan immediately corrected them. Rodman was a menace, dude. Rodman was the kind of dude that like he would get a rebound at literally all costs, which is the kind of guy you definitely want on the defensive boards. But then he also was like an enforcer for the Bulls when they were doing their second championship run in the late 90s. And so, like, the whole game was to get Jordan the ball because Jordan's the scorer, right? He's Michael freaking Jordan. And so, in order to get Jordan the ball, you needed to people that were good at doing things like rebounding and chasing balls that were going out of bounds, and you know, throwing elbows into defensive players that are trying to switch up so that they can't guard him. They can't guard Jordan while he's got the ball. You know, like Rodman was a monster. I told y'all this was going to go fast, too, by the way. We're just flying through this. This car is so utterly ridiculous. I'm definitely going to be replaying this one a couple of times. This thing is stupid. All right, let's get this door handle. By the way, if you need a TV recommended, I just recently finished The Lowdown with my wife. Stars Ethan Hawke and a few other folks, and it's pretty great. If you haven't had a chance, The Lowdown is on Hulu. Watch The Lowdown. You're gonna enjoy that one. Okay, so we got doors, we got windows. I think. Okay, we got wheel well. Should just be, I think, the helicopter and the pad left. World's smallest helicopter pad. Jesus, that thing is tiny. I mean, it's got to fit on a road, right? So, like, makes sense that it would be tiny because it has to fit on top of a car. And the car has to be road legal, which means it can't be wider than the lane standard. Why I know the legalities around. Okay. How did that cat get in there? Can somebody please explain to me why the cat thinks he's a helicopter pilot? Oh, don't tell me anything about Stranger Things. My wife and I have been waiting until the finale came out so that we can binge all of season 5. I've heard good things. I've heard really good things about the last season of Stranger Things. I really want to watch it. We've been just kind of watching some other stuff and we've been trying to finish up some of our other TV shows we're in the middle of before we start Stranger Things. Oh, speaking of other TV shows that I've been watching. So we just finished The Lowdown. We're about 2/3 of the way through Robin Hood. I don't know if y'all knew this, but MGM now has a new streaming service called MGM Plus. And the first original property one of the first original TV shows they created for MGM Plus is a new Robin Hood series. And what's interesting to me is that this Robin Hood series is really taking its time with the historical stuff and with the sort of the timeline of everything. He and Marion are both pretty young, and the Queen is still alive. Marion went to work for the Queen, who is still alive at this point, and her sons, John and Richard. John is bickering with his mom because he wants to take over the crown, but she wants Richard to be king because Richard's better suited for it. And so John, Prince John is just kind of he's being kind of a whiny asshole over the fact that he wants the crown, but she doesn't want him to take it. And so Richard is fighting in the Crusades, and she has sent message to Richard to come back and claim his crown before John does. So the politics, like are of this new Robin Hood series are just fantastic. The details and the amount of effort that they put into being able to tell as close to a somewhat accurate depiction of Robin Hood as possible is just like, it's amazing the lengths that they're going to for this new show. I'm really happy with it so far. I think y'all will enjoy it. There are one or two actors that I recognize from other things, but no major names that I could attach to it. Let's see. Oh yeah, we gotta get these rotors. Rotor number 1. Rotor number 2. Or not. Wait, hold up. Did we not? Oh, yeah, we got a little more on the underside here. There we go. What are we missing here? There we go. Deck lid. Looks like we missed a window. Okay. Door handle. What else are we missing? Oh, yeah. That thing. We can pet Bubbles. Bubbles. Our little helicopter commander. All right, so we got a center tire somewhere. Oh, yep, there we go. And then we have a helicopter door handle and a helicopter landing skid. Okay, so I see the stuff on the landing skid. Let me see if I can knock this out real quick. There we go. Landing skids, and then shit. There we go. Door handle. See, I told y'all this is gonna be quick. So that is an 18-wheel limo. Shiakun, and we're about to head out here as well. Thank you so much for hanging out. Always good to see you, my friend. Of course, we'll be back same bad time, same bad channel next week. Hopefully, we'll see you then. And for the rest of y'all, that's going to conclude our 18-wheel limousine / helicopter pad / mobile hot tub. And that's also going to be the end of things for my stream tonight. So I'm a little curious. I want to see what the next level is going to be. Obviously we're done. So like, we're not going to start the next one. But man, I'm fascinated. Shopping mall. Oh yeah. That's going to take a while. Actually, I'm glad that we're stopping here because I have a feeling that Snowhole's going to want to see this one. So hopefully he'll be able to come hang out next Wednesday as we tackle the shopping mall and Power Wash Sim 2. Until then, my name is DJ Switch. Thank you very much for hanging out tonight. I appreciate y'all. Happy freaking New Year. And I will see you on the next one. Enjoy your weekend. Bye, y'all.
This was a triumph. I'm making a note here, huge success. It's hard to overstate my satisfaction. Aperture science. Do what we must because we can. For the good of all of us, except the ones who are dead. But there's no sense crying over every mistake. You just keep on trying till you run out of cake. And the science gets done and you make a neat gun for the people who are still alive. I'm not even angry. I'm being so sincere right now. Even though you broke my heart and killed me, tore me to pieces, and threw every piece into a fire. As they burned, it hurt because I was so happy for you. Now these points of data make a beautiful line. And we're out of beta, we're releasing on time. So I'm glad I got burned. Think of all the things we've learned for the people who are still alive. Look at me still talking when there's science to do. When I look out there, it makes me glad I'm not you. I've experiments to run, there is research to be done on the people who are still alive. And believe me, I am still alive. And while you're dying, I'll be still alive. I feel fantastic and I'm still alive. And when you're dead, I will be still alive. Still alive, still alive. I'm still alive, baby.